back to the App Growth Show, and today's episode is the last in the series. It's the final installment of our High Five mini-series, which we've been spotlighting top app marketers who share the best and worst of their creative strategies. And today is no different. And what better way to wrap up than with a high five to our guest, Michal Bubernik. You are head of marketing at Pixel Federation. You've been leading creative there for quite a while with some of the biggest transport simulation games out there. So like TrainStation Saga, Seaport, Port City, Diggy's Adventure. And you've got some cool images from that as well that we're going to dive into. So it's just great to have you. And as I said, Michal, a great way to end the series. So yeah, just excited to have you and your first podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and hopefully this will be just fine.
And of course, Peter Jung, we are back. My partner in crime for the last in the series. You are head of UA and creatives at App Guardians, and you have been consistently showing us how ugly creatives can be big top performers. So yes, I'm surprised to see what you've got in store for us today.
Yeah. Thanks for having me again, Peggy. I love coming up to this show and playing these creative games as well. So, yeah, I have some in the pipeline. So, yeah, looking forward to
I
that.
love that. I love a surprise. But before we start, I have to do this because, Michal, we have known each other for a while. We have hung out at some pretty amazing conferences. But I got to understand the tuna of the gaming industry thing, right? The backstory here, and also proudly showing us a fish. So it's the real deal. This is his psyche. This is what he is. So, Michal, what is it? What's it with the tuna of the gaming industry?
Well, nowadays it's my trademark, but it began 2 years ago, I guess, in London, and
Hmm.
we were heading to a party after the late midnight with a bunch of gaming industry people,
Okay.
and I've got my Salty Crew cap. Salty Crew is my favorite brand from San Diego, I guess,
Okay.
California.
All
It's
right.
surfing and fishing and freediving brand making some nice stuff. And the guy from Addictive,
Uh-huh.
Tanner and Tom, told me, "Oh, Salt Crew, I know them. They are from San Diego. I am from San Diego. They're my friends. I love the brand." So we chat a bit, and I asked him if he would like to see my tuna because I've got like 3 days fresh tattoo on my thigh, on my leg, like
Oh, wow.
this big tuna. He told, "Yes, of course." So I was drunk a bit, and I put my pants down and show whole the club in London my tuna. And later on, like 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks later, in a games from Barcelona, random people who I never met before just greet me, "Hi tuna, hello tuna, how are you?" So I'm tuna of gaming industry since then.
Well, now, next time we meet, I'm going to have to see the tattoo now too, right?
Okay.
That will be the thing. That will be the thing. And maybe it's Mal, maybe it's a games forum. We'll see, but it will happen. So yeah, that's creative in action, right? That's a creative that has become your trademark. We can look at it that way. Um, All right. So that was fun, but we will get on with the work here because it's looking at AI and creative testing, right? It's the buzzword, it's the big deal. And we want to look at real impact versus hype. So we know, Mikal, that you are using AI at Pixel Federation. I mean, who wouldn't be using AI? But I think that you're looking more at static banners or video ads or both? I mean, what's going on there? What are you using AI for?
Nowadays, it's both, but it begins like 2 years ago, and it was mostly statics. And
Hmm.
we used AI for creating bunch of statics seamlessly and in fast way in terms of quantity, not quality. And we use them for testing the creative ideas. So we put them into networks, into Facebook, like 50 of them per week, and we were looking at the winners, and those winners, we created the videos from them. So first of all, 2 years ago, it was only statics. Nowadays, we are playing with UGC. We are using wherever we have voiceovers. It is AI created, and we are created videos statics. So we are using AI as much as we can, and we have our own AI department with a headcount of 3.5, 4 people, and we are creating our own tools for whole Pixel Federation. So in terms of marketing, we are using AI as much as we can, and every single person in Pixel Federation is trying to use AI. So we are not being afraid of it, and we are using it.
Those formats, I mean, I'll ask you in a moment, Peter, about the formats that you're seeing, but what about the playables as well? You know, you've gone from static to video. You're also using it for voiceover. Playable ads, does it work there yet? Are you looking at that?
We are not using AI with playables. We are exploring playable options. We had some successful playables from vendors, and now we have our own programmer, coding guy who is creating playables, but not with AI. Maybe use a bit AI for the backgrounds and for the graphics, but not for the playables. We are creating playables in old-fashioned way.
Okay, so maybe a bit of ISPO there. Peter, what does this compare to what you're doing when you're working with other studios? Because we know that AI is shaping creatives differently across different formats. And what are the formats in that mix that people are really focused on?
Sure, it's actually pretty quite similar to what Michal mentioned. I think when it comes to other studios as well, it's a volume game. When it comes to like statics, you know, AI is definitely helping companies win on volume. Yeah, and then also why that's so important is because in terms of testing, it's very efficient. You don't need to get a team of designers to crunch and push out a ton of these different designs. You can make simple designs and let AI do the work, and it'll just fill out the gap with the prompts that you push in. So yeah, you could just create the backbone of a design and then give it to the AI, prompt it, and then it'll design it and even make a better design than what a designer can actually do in hours worth of time. In terms of UGCs, I haven't seen too much of it on the gaming side. I've seen a lot of it on the organic side. So yeah, by organic, I'm talking about people selling like it's a very soft sell of like e-com products. So it's like they'll create this very unique, wild, and captivating storyline, and it'll be two AI UGCs where it'll be one UGC in the background and then a person narrating a storyline about that UGC in the background. But it's a very interesting story. It really gets you like hooked in the beginning. For example, it's like I could just give you one example that I've seen. It was like somebody talking about how they were the fifth wife of some prince in Saudi Arabia, and
Okay.
it's very interesting, right? And then it just goes through, talks about what that wife had to go through to become, I guess, appropriate for the prince. And it's a very interesting story, but in the end, it's just trying to soft sell these different products, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's like diet pills and like some other like what's it called? Like makeup and yeah, things like that. So
Okay, so it's UGC talking to UGC. It's sort of AI talking to AI. It's having a conversation.
yeah,
What
it's very interesting. Yeah.
So what does that look like in gaming? I'm wondering, Mikhail, because you have it and Peter hasn't seen a lot of it in gaming. I have to say the same for me. So what is this? Is this more like talking about the gameplay experience or trying to create some community?
As I mentioned, we use every single voiceover we have. We use AI for, so you can choose the color of the voice, tone of the voice, and you can choose a lot of different actors who are talking by your side, and it costs you literally nothing.
True.
Uh, and in terms of face of the actor, AI actor, UGC, we are exploring options like you have the screenshot of the game, gameplay, and down in the right corner or left corner, there is a actor, AI actor, who is talking about the game experience.
Okay.
So we had some successful UGC creatives made with the real people, real humans, actors,
Hmm.
and it costs money, of course, and it took too long to create it, to wait for the voiceover, wait for the actor to send you all the videos, and whilst using AI, we can have it like immediately. We don't have to pay anything to anyone,
And no
and we
wait.
don't have to wait. We don't have to wait for the actor to be uh, acting for us for 1 week, 2 weeks.
It sounds like a really smart way to automate the onboarding because then also, because I talk to a lot of studios and when they're introducing new features to the game or some new content or currency or whatever, it takes some explaining. And here it's like, yeah, we can explain that. It looks real, right? And above that, it's also helpful. I mean, it's utility at scale.
Exactly. Yeah.
Uh-huh. What about scaling that creative process? I'm just curious because, AI is that spark. As Peter, you pointed out, it gives you sort of the MVP, it gives you the concept, it gives you what you need to be working with, but then, scaling that creative process. I'll start with you, Peter, about how you see um, making winning creatives out of this process and then also scaling that. And then we'll find out from you, Michal, how you're really doing it.
Sure. Yeah. So AI is very well made for scale. I can add on to what Mikhail said about like actually hiring human actors versus utilizing models that are just as human. When you look at it visually, it's 1/10 of a price. Typically, for a actor, you could pay anywhere from $140 all the way up to like $200 per video. This is like a 30-second video where you give them a creative brief, give them a script as well. Sometimes they make the script as well, but typically the companies would provide the script. But there's even a back and forth time. You gotta sometimes even describe how you want the style to be. So there's a lot of energy and cost involved in that back and forth. There's also time. Usually, the turnaround time for an actor to deliver is going to be minimum 1 week, right? But with AI and softwares that are just constantly coming out these days, it's instant. It takes maybe 3 minutes max to actually render a video. And actually, the 3 minutes is from you uh, pasting the script into the AI and then selecting a voice and selecting a model. And then, yeah, voila, you just get a video in 3 minutes instead of waiting for a week, instead of paying $150. So you could get a lot more variations. You could do a lot more persona testing as well because you have the access to a ton of different creators, um, AI creators, like AI models that you can work with. You can even upload your own. You could create your own as well. They'll generate a very human like models for you on your behalf, and you can also choose from different voices as well. So there's so many options that you can play around with if you know how to utilize these tools. Uh, I would say it's much more scalable than actually trying to hire actual actors. So that's where it's at. I mean, when it comes to creatives, it's the volume game, it's a testing game. So AI is definitely here to help you with that.
What's interesting also in your approach, and we were chatting about this before, is that, you get it to scale that creative production. It's a volume game. But when you're getting closer to that winning creative, at least at Pixel Federation, I don't know how it is elsewhere, Peter, and I'll find out from you, but for you, those winning creatives, that's when the human element comes back in and just adds that polish and gets that, that winner to be the winning one over the finish line. But it's interesting. Maybe you can tell me a little bit more about the process, but also more about the the thinking behind it to say, okay, we're going to have AI to get that far, but humans are going to get it over the finish line.
Yes. Since we have a winner in our testing, in our experiments, we are polishing it with real humans, and we are putting as much effort, as much love as we can to make the best video out there. And we are playing with that with humans.
Mm-hmm.
So AI mostly is for creating the winner one. So experiment with a huge amount of quantity,
Yeah.
and later on, since we have the winners, we are playing with them and tweaking it and polishing it to have the pretty nice video. Because a few years ago, our strategy was to have the best and the most beautiful cinematics out there in the network advertising networks. We do not want to have ugly ones. Still, we would like to have the beautiful ones. And AI is helping us to have the beautiful ones and also the winner one.
But still a little polish at the end for the human element. Peter, is that where you see this? Is that like AI's ability? There's a gap, in coming up with the truly high performing ads, and that's where, yeah, people come back in.
No, 100%. Yeah. I think of AI as kind of like a junior designer with super speed. Great for drafts, but it still needs a senior's touch. And the senior is obviously the human. And yeah, we're not using AI to, per se, like replace creativity. We're using it to multiply it. I would still say that the best AI generated creative is still something that it's still the one with a human tweak before launch. Even if we put some AI out there, AI ads out there, we still need to uh, actually spend some time to see if it produced the exact results that we wanted to. So yeah, there's definitely some auditing process involved. But yeah, just to answer your question, I would say there's still some human touch involved.
If I can say, same here, 100%. Uh, we are not replacing creativity with AI. So AI is just making hard work, and our creative guys, our artists, can focus more on creativity, more on the nice things, and AI is doing the handwork.
So AI is the assistant. It's part of the toolkit, but that's just it. It's about the tools. It's about the flow, the workflow of how you do this. How do you iterate? So, when I was listening to you talk before, Peter, about, oh, yeah, we plug it into different models, we can have different voices, we can do all of that. I'm thinking the whole time, you test so many AI tools. Which ones are working for this?
Sure. So there's different components to this. If you want to just basically get into the simple stuff, let's say you're not working with UGC models. If you want just voiceovers, I can recommend 11 Labs. And 11 Labs has a ton of different voices that you can choose from. You just plug in a prompt and you just press download, and it'll just spit out the voice that you select, and it'll just go over the voiceover with the script that you push in there. So yeah, I highly recommend it. There's also different software's video editing tools out there that already have integrations with voiceovers. Like CapCut, for example, which is from TikTok. Yeah, you can utilize their voiceover software, voiceover function as well. So yeah, those are just two simple tools just to kind of get in and get your feet wet with AI usage. But if you want to go a bit more, I guess, into the UGC model space, you can look into Creatify, which is the software that I've been using to select different UGC actors that are AI generated. But there is actually a new one out there that's been that I heard is really good. I saw some examples. I haven't used it just yet. I still have some credits left in Creatify, so I want to utilize that first and then switch over. It's called Arc Ads, and yeah, I've seen some of their demos, and it's incredible. It's almost difficult to differentiate if it's AI generated or not. So yeah, it's pretty incredible. But then, if you really want to get sophisticated, there's also different tools out there like Midjourney, DALI as well, which I know takes some. You need to have a bit of a better computer as well to be able to do that, and some technical knowledge and a lot of testing with the prompting. But yeah, if you really want to go to that route, yeah, you can really explore those areas as well. But if you want a bit more of the automated, simple prompting, simple scripting route, I could recommend 11 Labs and Creatify and ArcAds.
ArcAds is a new one. Is that one you've tried, Michal? I mean, what does your creative stack look like?
I was just checking our Slack because I remember the Creatify name, and
Hmm.
it was what my colleague Samo, who is our senior artist in marketing, he asked for the Creatify like 2 weeks, 1 week ago.
Okay.
So we are testing a lot of new tools, a lot of new stuff, and which one is good, we are keeping them. Which one is not good, we are getting rid of them. So
Hmm.
we are on the way to have our Creatify paid account. So yeah, Creatify we would like to try, and uh, ChatGPT. I'm personally using paid ChatGPT and also Leonardo, but in terms of Pixel Federation, we are using Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, Magnifique, Runway, and a lot of stuff. So those four are like stable AI tools in our company,
Hmm.
and every single month we are trying to explore new ones.
Hmm. I mean, it's down to a lot. It's down to the concept, it's down to the prompts. I know that from using AI myself. Um, but how much of your process at Pixel Federation is automated versus really just designing this with your team? Because you did say you're designing some tools as well internally. So this might be AI inspired, perhaps, more than always AI automated.
As I mentioned, we have our own department, which is exploring AI possibilities, and they created AI portal for Pixel Federation, and you can using prompts you can code the game inside of that portal. You can use graphics, and I'm not expert here to talk about it, so I will not. Maybe I could talk about marketing AI tools, but not about our AI portal.
And then we have alternative app stores. I just did a podcast earlier today, which was all about web stores. You know, we're all getting very excited about web stores. Well, that's going to need more creatives, more testing and understanding. And I have to say, maintaining human creativity in the team as well, because there's so many different testing scenarios. So, how do you look at the results of what you've been producing, what you've been experimenting with? I guess this all comes back to benchmarking performance, Michelle. And no one has the answer, but I would like to hear how you're approaching it at Pixel Federation. How many impressions, iterations, what do you need before you trust the success of a creative?
Well, hard to say. We have our prediction model, which is counting our ROAS. And if the numbers are good with this prediction model, we consider creatives and campaigns to be scalable. So that's the only one number for us, ROAS. Yeah, CTR is important, first of all, but later on, when we are polishing our creatives and creating the winner ones, the most beautiful and most successful creatives out there, we're looking specifically on ROAS.
Is there anything also that you're looking at when you're benchmarking and saying it is ROAS, but that payback period, yeah, has also changed massively, and it's not just the ROAS, but I think it's also a very compressed period. Is that the same for you?
It used to be 2 years, and nowadays we are looking only on 1 year ROAS. But to be honest, I would like to have it like 90 days tops, 90 days maximum. But our games are long tail monetized. We have players that are with us more than 5 years in few particle games. So we have to have this long tail ROAS monetization window. But no more looking at 2 years. We are looking at 1 year ROAS.
Is that what you're hearing, Peter? Is that about right?
Yeah, I mean, of course, if you shorten it, if you ideal scenario, right? If you spend X amount and if you can get that back as soon as possible, you have an ideal game, ideal world in terms of payback period. But yeah, I mean, 90 days, I think, is definitely a great target to have. A year seems too long, in my opinion. I mean, if you have the runway, if you have the cash and the investment to just continue it like that, then yeah, you're pretty set. But for if you're like a indie gamer, indie developer, or just a startup, it's very difficult to be operating with a 1 year kind of payback period. That's going to be very stressful for UA managers.
One other area that this is really interesting to look at is that you think, like you said yourself, Michelle, oh, we want to have, the beautiful creatives, and then we'll bring those over the finish line, and, we'll look at our ROAS, and, that is the formula. But it's interesting, and you've shown this several times, Peter, and you're going to do it again. You're going to knock us out, because sometimes the best performing creatives are not the prettiest. They can be scrappy, they can be downright ugly. Maybe you want to go through some examples or talk us through some, and we can basically figure out, have we nailed it? Do we understand? And are we right?
Sure. I'll be happy to show two examples actually, and then after we watch them, you guys can guess which one
Okay.
was performing.
Bring them on.
Bring them on. Be ready.
Okay.
I have been wrong, but I have been right a couple times in this one. So
That's
let's
right.
share your
You've
screen.
definitely
Let's
been
do
getting
it.
better. Okay.
I'm getting better.
Yes.
More shows I do with you, Peter. I just catch on.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's put this old phone back in service with the new Generate Background feature in Photoshop. First, we'll remove the background. Then click Generate Background, 1970s New York Street. That does it. With new generative AI features, it's never been easier to make everyday images amazing.
Okay.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna stop. That's it.
Is this like creative for same service?
No, different service, but
Okay.
different results.
Okay, but both about being creative with stuff, right?
Yes, they're both ads.
Okay, those were two pretty different at the end of the spectrum here. You want to go, Michal? You're the expert. I have my thoughts. Which one, if any, was a high performer?
Is there a catch? Can it be no high performer there?
There's
Peter?
definitely a high performer.
Is there
There is a high
okay?
performer.
Okay.
I would love to say number one, but
Yeah.
my experience is saying right now number two is better performing creative out there.
Yeah. I was going to say, maybe you don't exactly know what it's for, but it is going to be memorable. I mean, I was laughing. And you are sort of getting the idea. I mean, but I don't know. There's part of me, I'm going to be contra. I'm going to say it is probably scrappy, ugly, good, but effective is another story. Would I know that I need to get a creative service, or that this is a creative service pitch? Probably not. I thought it was a game with little, worm eating balls and other worms. So yeah, I'll go with Adobe did it. Let's see.
Gotcha. So the result, drum roll, it's actually number two. Michal was right.
Michal,
Yes.
you were right, man. How does anybody know what it's for?
Right.
I'm sorry.
That's exactly the example of, I would say, like an ugly ad. It doesn't really have anything creative, I would say. I mean, of course, it has some memes, some, I guess, reaction factors as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's actually one of the high performers out there on TikTok, one of the top 1 to 5% out there.
Wow.
The click-through rate and conversion rate as well. For Adobe, unfortunately, it's high budget, but yeah, it's in terms of conversion rate, it's not as great. It's only in the top 50%. So yeah, it's very interesting.
It's interesting because they explained it. I knew what they were talking about.
It's well made.
Let's change image.
Well made as well. Well edited. Well made. It explains
Yeah.
everything about what you can do. But when it comes to the conversion, No, it's the worm. It's the worm.
And
It's
So,
the
yeah.
worm.
it is painful to be right right now. So
Yeah, it is painful. I was going to say, you are
mhm.
right, but I still have to figure out, I don't know. And they know what they're doing. They know that that's about some sort of tool that's going to help them, yeah, create creatives, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? What was it for, by the way, Peter? Was it like one of those simple tools for like UGC type of content, or is it like a serious tool?
So yeah, it is a pretty serious tool. It's integrated inside Photoshop. So
Hmm.
it's a
All
new
right.
they're pushing out their new AI function inside Photoshop. They're
All
trying to
right.
stay competitive to other editing tools out there, like Canva, for example.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's very difficult because even I don't use Photoshop too much these days. Yeah, you have to get a subscription, actually download the product into your computer, open it. It takes a lot of loading time. So yeah, with Canva, you just go on a website and generate
Yeah,
simple. So yeah, that's just what it was.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
But we have another big reveal because you've got some great examples from the wild, Michal, of what you've been doing with creative, and yeah, I'd love for you to share, walk through them because it's great to see the end result, but it's fantastic to see like raw to end, and you can see where all of this came together, and some winning creatives for your games. So maybe you want to share your screen and walk us through those.
So this is static creative made only with Midjourney with prompting. Uh, so it is showing some kind of diorama, which we are using. We have our own diorama in our company, and the people who are playing TrainStation, they love dioramas. So they are their own trend builders, and they love to have their diorama in mobile phones. So that is the key. And this is pretty successful static. And we decided to make video from this only with using AI in Runway. So this was successful static. You have seen now a video made only with AI in Runway. So the workflow right here is we created with prompt in statics in Midjourney, and
Mm-hmm.
we choose those which performed well and created the videos from them, and
Mm-hmm.
just edit logos and music and maybe some light post production. But this video is solely made with AI.
Cool.
It is performing well.
Uh-huh.
It looks like your own diorama.
Yeah.
Uh, it's amazing. Simple as that. With few clicks.
The depth of the images as well. I mean, it's like it's not that plastic, static feeling. What about you, Peter?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I guess you said only with AI, but is that logo at the end, is that that's human
Of course, it is human, but the video and all the cut and all the lightning there is the
AI
the
generated?
creativity is
Yeah,
generated with AI.
that's pretty
Of course,
amazing.
we have to add logo at the end.
So
Mm-hmm.
you took the static and then transformed that into a moving, uh,
Yes,
different frames.
and we saw that static first of all
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
a few minutes before. Yeah.
yeah. Super cool. Yeah.
I like the lighting. I like the realness of it. Walk us through some more.
Here we can see much more. So the static with the truck in the canyon. Again, pretty simple video. Nothing special going on. No wild cuts or wild effects, and
Mm-hmm.
it works.
It works.
Yeah.
Top performer.
What about the
Was this?
music? Is that AI generated as well, or
No, no. It's from the sound bank.
yeah?
Peter, this is like getting the inspiration, from a still image and then saying, okay, from this image, make a video. Is that something you hear a lot about? I mean, I've always heard sort of making it all with AI, but not sort of saying, here's the starting point and go from the still to the video.
Yeah, I've been seeing it a lot recently. They start off with that static, and then you could have the AI generate more frames from it and transform that into a video. It's super cool.
And this is now the way it works at Pixel Federation. This is like from learning this, from seeing these high performing ads that started out as static. Is that now part of the process for you?
We are trying a lot of different stuff, and this one works well. Yeah, and we are choosing if we would like to spare time and make videos like this, and then we can save time for more polished cinematics, which are made with humans at the end.
Let's talk about a couple of hacks, a little bit of just fast, rapid fire, no overthinking here. Either of the two of you can jump in. We sort of had this game show thing going, you know, what is the winning creative and what happened here. So let's talk about what doesn't work, right? We've talked about what flies. What about what flops? AI generated creative flops. What have you seen, Michal, and what's your fastest fix?
I really don't know right now what doesn't work, but to be honest, I guess 95% of creatives didn't work. So only 5% of them are winning ones, and those are creatives that we are seeing and being proud of. But a lot of stuff is going to the garbage. For me, those stuff which didn't work is just making the path to the working one.
Yeah.
I don't have the specific way or specific tool or script or kind of video or music that didn't work. I'm just saying a lot of stuff didn't work.
Mm-hmm. Well, and
That's the way for us.
it's iteration. You learn from those mistakes. I mean, that is what informs the best creative in the end. Peter, creative flops, how do you deal with them? How do your clients deal with them?
Sure, yeah. When it comes to flops, you just have to test again. The numbers don't lie. Just test more. Swap the image, swap the actor, tweak the copy, tweak, especially the first 3 seconds, I would say is the most important when it comes to video. You really want to test your hooks. And if you look at the hook, let's say for what ChatGPT generates, and you don't think it's as strong enough, you can even ask GPT to make it more clickbaity, right? So this is a little bit of a hack to make it a bit more spicy, to make that intro a bit more.
What's that prompt look like, Peter? I mean, please make this more clickbaity. I mean, what's
Yeah,
that
I
like?
to this point, I think I communicate with ChatGPT more than my team members or even my friends, right? I'm always communicating and talking to ChatGPT, and it's almost like a assistant or even like a creative team member. So it's a creative director that's working for you. So make sure you ask for more stuff.
And
Get the
be
most out
straight
of
out.
it.
I mean, I'm just curious because I was listening actually to a show, and it was just like how interactive and how much we're interacting with AI. I mean, I've given mine a name. Anybody else out there done that?
I'm calling my ChatGPT, "Hey buddy,"
Hey,
Mm.
buddy, I love it.
and I'm being polite to him or she, and I'm saying thank you for all the successful stuff.
I
Right.
do that too. I
Same.
tell it, hey, well done. I've got it doing a little thumbs up here. Very cool. What about when the creative well runs dry? Because it happens, and you have to go and get ideas, and you sort of want to brainstorm with AI, but maybe other places. So, Michelle, what is your go-to way to, your team is sparking new ideas, getting some new inspo, really?
Well, we are creating ideas almost 100% with humans. We are having old-fashioned brainstorming with the product teams, with our creative teams, with our marketing guys, with our performance marketing people, UA specialists, UA managers. So because we have a lot of ideas in our heads. So as I mentioned few times before, the creativity stays in the hand of humans, and
Mm-hmm.
AI is just the workhorse for us.
Okay.
We have a huge amount of lists lists with ideas. So we are just picking them according to the priority and to the products, and we are filling AI's tools with those ideas, and AI is helping to create it for us.
What about ideas for you, Peter? I mean, you are watching TikTok for sure. So I'm going to imagine that some of that comes from just like what's trending out there, what's going on, what's viral. But yeah, what is your secret or where you go to
Sure.
spark ideas?
Yeah, you actually was on point. Yeah, I use TikTok a lot when I'm
TikTok.
out of ideas. Even when I'm just scrolling on a daily basis, I tend to save any videos that I like that I want to come back to and
Hmm.
get some, maybe even try to copy or imitate, right? And then if I'm really running out of ideas, I sometimes take a walk or even just take a cold shower. That really helps. Some of the best ideas just come from
Yeah,
showering,
just that
actually.
moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shower ideas. But yeah, if you want to use TikTok, there's so much content out there already, and they tend to do a very good job of soft selling as well. So yeah, you want to be on the lookout for organic content. If you want to also look into different ad libraries out there to search what your competitors are doing, there's a Creative Center from TikTok, and then Meta Ads Library as well, which you can in a way spy on your competitors and see what ads are yeah, the other people are running.
This has been a great, great segment, guys. I love it because, again, Peter, you fooled us as usual. You always bring some examples that are surprises, and great also to see realistic examples of where winning creatives, where great videos came from, and the surprises there as well, Michelle. So before I let you both go, just one piece of advice for our audience. They're looking about how to get that breakthrough creative with AI. It can be a technique, it can be a tool, it can just be a tip. I'll start with you, Peter.
Sure. I guess the tip would be, well, AI isn't here to replace creatives. I think our main point was talking about that. It's not here to replace humans at all. So don't need to worry about the AI overlords taking over just yet. But it's definitely reshaping the process. I would say the best teams are definitely using AI for speed and ideation. So make sure to review the tools that we talked about,
Mm,
and definitely utilizing AI for scale and just refining for the best output. Um, with that being said, you can definitely A/B test a lot faster. The more data-driven decisions that you can make, the better. So you can optimize and make your creative process more efficient. So yeah, definitely embrace AI for quantity, but like I said, it's not a magic bullet. You definitely need to take a look at the results to see if it's really produced what you had in mind from the first place. So definitely utilize it, but
mm.
yeah, make sure to keep an eye on it. And yeah, you got to have the humans for the final quality.
And if we want to know more about those tools, Peter, you are testing them. You're a bit of a tool junkie, actually. Hopefully, maybe sharing some of those. I don't know. Are you active in blogging, LinkedIn? I mean, where can we find out? Because this is the last in the series. So how are we going to keep up on the tools you're testing?
Sure, yeah, you can reach me on LinkedIn, on Instagram, YouTube. Yeah,
And TikTok.
yeah. So and yeah, and TikTok as well. Yeah, you could just search me as Peter Jung AI, and then yeah, if you want some prompts, if you want all the softwares that I talked about, happy to share.
Cool. Cool. We need that. We definitely need that. Michal, I want to end with you then. Top tip people out there, they want to get to that breakthrough creative with the help of AI. What would it be?
Well, I wanted to say only one advice to people who are not using AI yet. And my advice would be don't be afraid because adaptation is crucial right now, especially in gaming industry. You have to be fast. You have to adapt every single week or month or day. And please choose one tool of your choice, try it, and while you would see how amazing is that, you will keep using more and more to AI tools, and you can be winner at the end.
There's no way around it, and it's best that you adapt and start that before someone pushes you. This is something you can do at your own pace. And speaking of pace, we are coming to an end, as I said, the last in the series, but it's well named because it's the High Five mini-series, and a high five to you as well, Michal. Been a great guest. Thanks so much for sharing. And everybody, keep tuned because the App Growth Show continues. And of course, we've shown that this shows the worst and the best of the creative strategies and ways to keep on top of that. So again, thank you both.
Stay tuned.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.